we would like to present FoundARs, an augmented reality experience to introduce users to ISU history through works of art on campus. If you're a full-time student living in Ames, you have probably walked around campus and seen the multiple works of art. In fact, over 2,500 public works of art make up the Art on Campus collection. However, for most of us, the intellectual relevance of these pieces is unknown. Thus, we designed FoundARs, an augmented interactive narrative experience which allows users to learn about the history of campus through interactions with works of art. In our literature review, we found that augmented reality games can support cultural heritage by connecting users with place through playful immersion. Thus, we designed a scavenger hunt based on the Parks Library Museum murals. Our app was developed in Unity and built in an Android app. We used Vuforia to develop the AR components and build the app using an Android phone. We first developed a wireframe using Genially, where we developed a narrative. Since the Grantwood mural shows the contributions of different fields at Iowa State during the Great Depression, the narrative introduces the different portraits in the Grantwood's mural as characters who can communicate with library visitors. This preliminary iteration of our app includes UI interaction, visual feedback when scanning the right character, and voices and sounds when interacting with them. The introduction explains the context of the game and the characters they will have to find in the murals. Upon arriving at the location, the user was prompted to use their device's camera to look for a character. Once the feature is detected, a visual effect appears as user feedback together with a button, Say Hi. Then, the app engages a user in an interactive conversation.
Hey.
Then, the woman in the story leads the player to find the next character in a different mural. We tested our app with 8 different users, 5 college students and 3 children aged 11 to 12 years old. One aspect that caught our attention is that only 1 out of 8 participants showed interest in public works of art. While they appreciate the beauty of art on campus, only 1 person claims to take time to read or learn about their history or meaning. Also, only 3 out of 8 had no experience with augmented reality games. However, they could only identify Pokemon Go. This is relevant as players may already have expectations of the kind of interactions you can have with an AR game. Out of 5 different categories in the post survey, the one that received the lowest score was storytelling. It's interesting that the lowest scores came from the children in the study, average 3 out of 5 points. The rest of the categories all average between 4 and 5 points. This shows that finding a narrative experience that is relevant to both children and adults may be especially challenging. Some ways to address this is to create instructional materials that students can use while they interact with the app to make it more engaging. We also found that previous experience with games, and AR games in particular, had no impact in the navigation of the app and the interactions with the camera. The game only shows the next button when the text is over. However, during the observation, we noticed that children tended to press this button immediately after it appeared, even if they hadn't finished reading. So, a back button will be added in the future. Regarding recommendations for future implementations, the majority of users considered that they would like to hear the entire text from the voices of the different characters and not just single sounds. While we considered this possibility, the fact that we were conducting the study in a library prevented us from moving forward with the idea.
Oh.
At the end of the game, players find the future of Iowa State University and uncover the final message of the game. For the future of this project, we expect to share this presentation with potential stakeholders such as Iowa State Museums and Parks Library to determine the feasibility of implementing a wider iteration of this experience. Thank you for listening, and please let us know if you have any questions.